Have you heard about peptides and thought to yourself, are they just another trend? Or is this even safe or natural? You're not alone. Millions of people are getting bombarded daily about peptide use. And the reality is, peptides aren't new, they're how your body already works. I'm Dr. Nestor Rodriguez, board certified emergency medicine physician and longevity expert, here to talk to you about peptides. At Carbon World Health, our facility, we work with high performers, executives, professional athletes, and everyone in between. And one of the things I see is that people are actually doing the work, but their body isn't responding. And that's where peptides come in my opinion, as a powerful tool, not as a shortcut, but as a way to optimize how your body actually functions. So let's start with, what are peptides? And let me simplify this for you guys. A peptide is just a short chain of amino acids. That definition doesn't really tell you what matters. What matters is this: peptides are signals. Your body already makes thousands of them every single day. They're constantly sending messages like heal this tissue, release this hormone, burn this fat, reduce this inflammation. So your body isn't just reacting to life. It's constantly communicating internally to survive it, to make you better. Peptides are how your body tells itself what to do. Knowing this, then you can look at why peptides used clinically aren't introducing something foreign, right? We're simply amplifying your signal of something that your body is already doing, something that your body already understands what to do. So now let's talk about how it actually does this. Well, peptides bind to specific receptors on your cells. The easiest way to think about this is this: it's like a key fitting into a particular lock. Each peptide is designed for a specific receptor, and when it binds it, it triggers a specific response. Some peptides lock into a lock and repair your tissue. Others increase your growth hormone. Others improve metabolism. Others enhance libido. But they're specific. Different peptides do completely different things. That's why you could stack them. That's why you could use them intermittently, long term. This is where peptides are different from medications that we use in modern medicine. Most medications affect the entire system. Peptides are pretty targeted. They don't flood your body. They communicate with it. They use the system, again, that they already know how to use. So how do we get these peptides into our body? One of the biggest questions I get asked: why are peptides injected? And the reality, peptides, like most medications, are broken down by the stomach if taken orally. So if you take them orally, in my opinion, they won't work effectively, even though you'll hear other people tell you that they are. But that's simply not true in my opinion. That's why peptides are given in small injections under the skin, called subcutaneously, not into the muscle, not into the vein. Just under the skin, a very small insulin needle is used. And it's important to note that it's not about the intensity that relates to the effectiveness, meaning the dosing has to be high. No, that's not true. Now let's talk about an important concept you have to understand: the difference between supplements and peptides. Supplements give your body raw materials. Protein powder gives you amino acids, and then your body has to decide what to do with them. In contrast, peptides are different. They don't give your body materials. They actually give your body instructions. So think about it this way: supplements are like giving someone the building blocks, right? Or the bricks to use, and hoping that they build something useful. Because just because you give them the bricks doesn't mean they're going to build the house you want. As opposed to peptides is handing someone the blueprint so that they know what to do, right? So they have the information they need to build the house that you want. So why would you need it, you might be asking? If my body already makes it, then why do I need it? And when do I start using it? Well, the thing is, over time, those signals start weakening, even though they exist, right? And they weaken because of age, because of stress, because of poor sleep, because of inflammation, or even your lifestyle. So your body begins to not start to communicate effectively. And you might be thinking, but I still feel okay. But in reality, you have low energy, you recover poorly, you're gaining weight, your performance is decreasing, you're healing slower, and your libido is not what it used to be. So it's not that your body is broken. It's that your signaling system is off. And these tools help re-engage that, help turn that around. So what can peptides help with? Well, depending on the peptide, we can target very specific areas depending on your needs or your pressure points. For example, energy, you can use NAD+. Sleep and recovery, you can use growth hormone peptides. Metabolism, MOTC. weight loss, GLPs, injury, BPC 157, skin, GHKU, and the list goes on and on and on and on. We don't use one peptide for everything. We match the peptide to the problem. So one of the first things is, what is your problem? How do we identify? At Carbon World Health, peptides are not one step. They're part of a system. And the way that I like to explain the system is we have to analyze your labs. We have to analyze your body composition. We have to analyze your goals. We have to optimize your foundation, and then we can layer these peptides. We don't guess, we build, because that system is not going to work if you're just randomly throwing things into it. Now let's go over some misconceptions. Are peptides steroids? No, they're completely different, and for that, I have a separate video that you guys can listen to. Are they natural? Yes, like I told you before, your body's already using them, so you're not necessarily introducing a foreign material into them. Do I have to use them forever? No, depends on why you're using them, right? Can you? Yes. Now, before we wrap up, there's another important thing that I absolutely have to talk to you guys about, and that's where do you get the peptides? Because right now, peptides are everywhere. You see them online. You see influencers talking about that. You see companies selling them directly to consumers. And we all probably have a homie that sells them on the side and tries to convince you to go into business with them. But the question should be, are they safe? Are they the right place to get it? Or am I only really thinking about cost? Because as a physician, this is something I shouldn't guess on. At Carbon World Health, every peptide we use is sourced through FDA-regulated compound pharmacies. That means sterility standards, proper dosing, physician oversight, and full accountability. Yes, not all of them are FDA approved, but they should come from a place that has all these standards. Why? Because my medical license is attached to what I prescribe, and I'm not willing to put that at risk. It took me way too long to get. So this is why we're very different from online. If you ever looked at some of the peptide websites, you'll notice what they advertise. And what they say is not for human use, for research purpose only, experimentation use. Why do they say that? Well, because if they get in trouble, they could say, hey, I warned you. I told you there was no true regulation behind what you were getting. You decided to take it. That's not on me. That's your informed decision. And I've actually had the opportunity to review and even be asked to consult for some of these major companies that are doing the peptides online. And what I've seen is they may test 1 or 2 vials, but not the entire batches. And they often can't provide consistently purity reports, batch verifications, or full transparency across each step of the process. And that's important to know, right? So that's why I haven't, despite the money they've thrown at me, signed up for that. You have to know what you're actually putting into your body. And that's the difference. At Carbon World Health, this isn't about selling peptides. It's about using them the right way, with the right sourcing, and with the right medical oversight. Because that's how you're going to assure that you're using them appropriately and successfully and for longevity purposes. Because peptides can be a powerful tool when used correctly. When used incorrectly, it can put you at risk. So if you're thinking about peptides, if this video resonated, if you have further questions, what should I take? Where is it coming from? Who's guiding me? Those are where we come in and we can help you out. If you want to do this the right way, I suggest you schedule a consultation with our Carbon World Health team, and we'll build a plan that's not just effective, but also safe, structured, and built for you. Thank you.